Welcome back to the Live and Let Fly podcast. Yet again, we are all gathered here around our digital table.
Back at it again in the white vans.
Mm-hmm. Damn, Daniel. We are.
Daniel.
That's the meme.
Sorry. I haven't had any caffeine in a few days, so y'all gonna have to bear with me.
In a few days?
Yeah. I'm trying.
Are you purposely avoiding caffeine?
Yes.
You're abstinating from caffeination.
I'm attempting to, at least to decrease the amount.
Turkey.
So far, so good.
No headaches? I'd have headaches for days.
I had a splitting headache this morning because I didn't have any caffeine.
Yeah, no, the
It's
headaches
Mississippi
have been
in the springtime. These turkeys ain't cold out here.
rough. Gobble.
Wow.
I made
Fucking
it weird.
hot turkeys.
I made it weird.
Got some
Humid turkeys.
Oh, no, not ethical turkeys.
Dirty turkeys.
So humid, they're damp.
Oh, no.
Straight damp turkeys.
That's a wet turkey, baby.
Get some of that turkey sweat.
That's some of the moistest
Turkey
poetry
Sweat
I've ever
sounds
seen.
like the name of a funk album.
Dude, I would buy a funk album named Turkey Sweat.
Or a funk band. Like, that's a new, deep New Orleans. Like, in 4 years, the new touring, like, popular out of New Orleans funk band is going to be Turkey Sweat.
I'm starting it next week.
Well, there you go.
Band name, I call it.
In 4 weeks, the new popular band coming out of New Orleans is Turkey Sweat. It's got a good ring to it. It feels good.
Yeah.
Turkey Sweat.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Turkey Sweat.
Like, that would definitely
Fish is going to beat you to
get
the
people.
punch.
Oh,
Make
no.
it
A 2-minute cow funk song called Turkey Sweat.
Nah, dude. They
They got their hands full at the Sphere right
Yeah.
now.
There.
well, they're done with that. But
They're done?
also, yeah. They only 4
That wasn't
nights.
4 months long?
Yeah, only
What,
4
a residency?
Well,
It's Vegas. You never know, man.
No, it's funny because like they did like have a lot of people questioning like you're doing a residency in Vegas for 4 nights, you know, because residencies usually are much longer. Mm-hmm. But you know they, as Fish does, it's like well we want every night to be unique and different, and so we can only do 4 nights.
Yeah.
This is all we got.
Without repeating visuals, like they did 4 completely different nights, different visuals for every song. Of
I was
the
going to
80
say,
that they played.
it had to be visuals because they have proved they can do a baker's dozen of nights with no repeated songs.
That's true. They could go longer than that without repeating songs, but not the visuals, right?
So, listeners, if you're unaware somehow, there is this new venue in Vegas that is, it's not the Sphere. It's just Sphere, which I think is weird, but whatever. They didn't ask
Everybody, like,
everybody calls
family
it the
in
Sphere.
Vegas. Everybody calls it the Sphere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it is a sphere.
Yeah.
You want to go to
It
Sphere?
is that thing.
No.
It's the Sphere.
You're not a Michael Crichton novel.
That's blighting
Right,
the Vegas
right.
skyline, and it's
it's right. It's lighting the Earth's skyline.
Yes.
The
We
thing
have
is so bright. Dude.
Zero affiliation with this guy, but Zach and I watched Eddie Burbach's video on the Las Vegas Sphere. 2-3 months ago?
something like that.
It's
behind
definitely
the
worth
scenes.
watching, and it's just his experience with going to Las Vegas and just experiencing Sphere.
It's fucking wild.
I don't like that.
It hits.
Experiencing
Put a V in front of it, man.
Yeah, it hits the ear wrong. I need something to ground it. You know, I need
What
the
I
duh.
don't-
You got English teachers.
What I don't like about it is that it's basically a giant billboard.
Yes.
I
in
mean,
the
I
middle
ain't
of the
mad
city.
at it. That's
No, it's a
Well, I mean,
look
that's
and see
what
how
Vegas
big it
is.
actually
Yeah.
is, though. It's massive.
It is. I don't understand how you can watch things in there. Like, we went to Disney recently, and, you know, they've got massive screens with, like, all of these crazy visuals and shit. But that's nowhere near the size of the Sphere.
Well,
and I'm just
Sphere.
like,
Not the.
It's designed for overstimulation in a
Yeah.
place where overstimulation is the facet
Base, the
of
baseline.
It's the base.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in that YouTube video I was talking about, he went to go see U2.
oh.
Yeah.
They
were
they're
the
the
first
first
thing you
right?
could go
well
see.
worth it, man. Well
They were
worth it.
they were the first band first of two, like Fish was the second band, which was also surprising for a lot of people too. It's like, everybody expected the next band to be something like Rolling Stones or Bruce Springsteen or something like that. But like once everybody saw what Fish did, they're like, this is the perfect fit for this.
Wait, the drums
for them. The drums, you see.
I don't think from what I understand, the drug intake was a lot less than a typical Fish show because of the overstimulation.
Yeah.
And like it would, I was sitting there, of course I bought the webcast for the whole weekend and I've watched most of it. And John came over and watched one of the nights and I was like, I don't know if I could eat edibles in there, let alone any mind altering drugs, you know what I mean? Like Grace is like, I would need a barf bag,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I mean, well, and visuals aside, if you trip, fall down them stairs, you roll all the way to the
gonna have
bottom
a
of
bad
that
time.
sphere.
Yeah.
Or of spheres.
It's a very steep seating
It is.
area.
Just keep rolling. You just go
Yeah.
all the way around.
Yeah, the thing is, they removed all the gravity from sphere.
That's what
It's
gets
horribly
you.
dangerous.
My mother and sister have went and they watched some movie about the planet Earth or something. I think the same thing that Eddie Burback watched or whatever.
I would go.
And that's
Wait,
what
they did like
said,
a
is it's
nature
like-
documentary at Sphere?
like that's a like
believe
a
it.
standing.
like an IMAX,
Yeah.
like Planet Earth type thing, to where you're like kind of
That's
fully
pretty
immersed.
lit.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
what
awesome.
I would go for.
But
That
that's what they
sounds
said
awesome.
is it's super steep. Like it feels very steep.
Dangerous.
That would give me anxiety. Like, I don't.
Just like, do I get a harness? Do I get to like clip onto the rail as I go up? What's you just
So
want me to walk?
nobody died.
Oh, that's good.
Did
Nobody,
anybody fall?
nobody fell.
Yay.
It's a successful weekend. It is a lot. Like even just from the couch, it's a lot. And I have some friends that went and came back, and they're like, they were talking about it, and they talk about how it was just, because not only is it the visuals, they have 1,600 speakers in there that can like change the direction of the music,
Well,
it's like,
and they have language sections. Like,
Yeah.
you can walk into the French section and
Oh,
hear
wow.
it
I
all
doubt they're
translated into
translating
French.
Trey though.
no, they weren't doing that. But what they were doing was sending the instruments chasing each other around the room.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, Blake said that there was like one point where they were in this like, in Antelope, so it was an intense jam or whatever, and it sounded like Mike was chasing Trey with his bass,
that's cool. Well, and
And
they
he's like,
already
he didn't like it. He's like,
Yeah.
it was disorienting,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they already, as a band, play around with that sort of sonic. Like
Definitely.
that messed me up when we went to Alpharetta. Like, I noticed a few different times, just like, it's like they'll Trey loves his little, and it like from the left to the right side of the stage, and it's like, what?
Yeah, when you see it live, when you hear it, it just sounds like a stupid little whale boomerang, right? Whew, whew, right? But like when you're there, it like certainly circulates around the auditorium, and I can't imagine what that was like in the Sphere.
It's kind of a mind fuck. Like even just their regular shows, they'll fuck you up with that.
I'll say this. They're only the second band to do it. They'll definitely be back. What they did with the Sphere is showing, I think, the future of what entertainment is going to be. Like it is literally unlike anything I've ever seen before. You know what I mean? And like, it's not just like an upgraded planetarium or an upgraded light show. Like they did things that like I literally couldn't fully wrap my head around. You know what I mean? And that was just from, again, on a 2D screen watching it at home,
They're gonna be the inspiration for the next generations, whatever their version of old time rock and roll is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't the boomer, like it's a fun rockin' song, but it's just a boomer bitching about modern times,
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what Fish is these days. So. They're not bitching about it. They're talking about how everything's great. It's like, yeah, y'all are old and rich now.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's like,
everything's
that's
fine.
groovy for you, Holmes.
Soul Planet.
I'm glad you're surviving this hellscape that we're living in.
It's a soul planet, not a hellscape.
They've moved on from the word soul to the word waves. So now they have like 15 songs that have
Yeah.
wave in the
Yeah, there's a
title.
whole water set.
Floating
No,
waves
it's a water
and-
night.
Yeah.
Speaking of waves,
Oh shit!
Boom! He nailed it. Found his end.
Nice. Like this episode, 69.
Better take it. Shit, dude.
I'm taking it. I was waiting for y'all to chill out. When last we left the crew of the Independence,
Now I will not.
you were getting ready to head to a planet covered in waves.
Yes.
A water
That is
world,
true.
if you will.
With Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Dude, what a like I liked water.
I did
in the
too.
last couple of years
There's hokey
watched
shit
Waterworld
like that.
again, and I mean, I don't know.
I ain't mad at it.
It's a cool like it tickles my imagination.
Yeah.
It might not be like the greatest movie ever made, but like the premise
And it's
tickles
very
my imagination.
like nostalgic too. Like
I'm more of the Postman guy.
I
myself.
loved the Postman.
Postman's great.
Oh, man. I really liked the Postman.
It's another 3-hour fucking Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I have
About him
not
delivering
seen The
mail.
Postman, but I've heard that Death Stranding is basically The Postman.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Yep.
similarities
Yeah.
to
There
it,
is.
for sure. For sure.
I
And I
think
love
both
Death
of
Stranding,
those
so-
films were like big, long epics that like did not return on the investment
Investment,
made in
yeah.
that
So-
movie and
Yeah,
were considered
yeah.
flops.
Remind me about Waterworld, but wasn't that the one where it's just like, isn't it just Mad Max
There's this
but on
world.
water? So I mean, like,
It's
isn't it just
all
like,
water.
It's
yeah,
all
it's just Mad Max
Yeah.
on water, right?
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is
and
correct.
and is it okay? I think it's okay to spoil Waterworld, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's
man,
more than
yeah.
20 years
Oh,
old.
man.
You're
30
treading
years late,
dangerous
man.
water here.
I haven't seen it, so
no,
You're
Costner's
friends
character.
with Josh. This is not going to be okay.
He doesn't have a name. It's like a title. It's like the Wanderer or something, the Mariner or something. But he's like has started to evolve, right? He's got like gills and shit. Mm-hmm. You know, and like webbed hands, and
Would that come in
It's-
handy?
it would
He
come
didn't even
in.
have to pay
He
800
didn't have
credits
to.
for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He just did
exactly.
He just did it.
Yeah, so he's got some adaptations for surviving in a water world. I hope that your characters have some gear or adaptations that you have purchased. I believe we've been talking about it over the last couple of days. Do y'all want to kind of go through quickly some of the stuff that you've got to allow your characters to survive and thrive, flourishing in your lane
Wow.
in such
Thrive
a
is a strong
hostile
word.
environment?
Yeah. So we made all this money doing these side jobs, and we spent all this money on aquatic gear. I got an augmentation. I got swimming fins so that I can have a swim speed. And then, of course, our armor provides us a certain amount of protection. That
Yeah,
of course,
environmental
will
protections
allow us
count
to breathe
underwater,
underwater.
yes, yeah.
So I have roughly 6 days worth that I can do
Survive
that.
down there. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
And yeah, that's the equipment I bought. I also did buy a new Solarian crystal.
Oh, nice. Which is
so I
essentially
did get-
buying a new weapon for a
Yeah,
Solarian.
which
yeah.
you know, so all my bitching aside, that is where most of my credits went to, was a new weapon that I'm excited about. It's an ice flame crystal, which is nice because that's now cold damage instead of fire damage.
Oh, okay.
Especially since we're going underwater. It has the frostbite critical hit effect, which is basically just like burn but cold.
Yeah.
And it also
like it.
has a Aurora trait, which means if I hit somebody, I can light them up.
Oh, yeah, nice. Cool.
Light him up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dig it. I can dig that. All right. I think that's a good buy there, Roland. I think that'll work for Roland. Did y'all get
So-
anything?
Gadrick went a little bit more simple, I guess. Armor upgrade for a swim speed, the Hydrojet. And I basically got a pointy stick. It's a sword cane, or cane sword. Which one
Nice.
is it? Yeah, sword
Cane's-
cane, advanced.
Sword cane.
which is the
Fancy
same damage.
pointy stick.
It is, but it's a stick that's pointy because piercing damage is full damage underwater, and
With the
also
pointy end.
yeah, also it's an operative melee, which I have not had. So,
Oh. Okay.
and then what's it called? It's a flashlight, a portable light beacon, so 50-foot light radius.
Oh.
So in
nice.
case we are underwater and it's dark, we'll be able to see Mo better.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else got anything interesting?
I went ahead and got me a Mark II Synaptic Accelerator.
Oh.
Yeah, spent a
Watch
goodly
out.
portion of that for
Yeah, I didn't know we could afford those.
Well, I could, because I've been miserly with my shit. I haven't bought jack. It's since, I don't know, how many episodes? Which episode is this again?
This is the
69.
nicest of all. John.
Nice, yeah. So
Nice.
for 69 episodes, I really haven't purchased jack shit. You know, so I was able to do that and get hydrojets, which will allow me to keep my heavy armor on, and a tooth blade, which has the underwater trait. So it should not have to. It won't suffer any penalties as far as
Tooth blade is a
piercing.
a Warhammer chainsword, but it's made of teeth, right?
Yeah, but it's not
I thought it
motorized.
was
Just
like
if you're
I thought
thinking,
it was like a toothbrush shaved down into a shiv. you
Yeah.
know?
I was-
no,
had
it
lots of
doesn't
questions.
spin. It just
no, it's not motorized. It's just like
Basically a
it's shark
serrated
teeth on
blade.
it. Yeah, it's a serrated
Oh,
blade
okay.
with shark teeth on it instead.
I just thought it was like a egg beater kind of like
hand
mechanic thing.
Yeah, but it's much more like Monster Hunter than Warhammer.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah, absolutely. It's Monster Hunter. Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
pretty sweet.
I got some swim fins. I imagine that maybe Morgan and Roland went and got their augmentations together.
Oh, that's so cute.
Did we?
In my head canon, we did. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
No, I mean,
I got you.
Like if if you had asked him to go with you, he would have gone with them. But he certainly wouldn't have been like, "Hey, Morgan, do you want to go get?" Not in his current mindset. Is
Yeah.
all I'm saying. But he wouldn't be rude to you either.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I
So yeah,
probably
we did
would
it.
have
But
been.
he was just really quiet during the proceedings.
That's
noticeably
fine.
quiet.
It's surgery. That's fine. It's allowed.
You don't get jazzed up about your surgeries.
I feel like Morgan's probably
Morgan
just
does.
chattering like, like this and this fun.
Yeah, exactly. Morgan has a history of being really excited about questionable theory.
We're gonna have so
Surgeries.
much fun. That's pretty much all I got. I spent a lot of money getting my new armor, and that was pretty much it.
Gotcha. Okay. But you got a swim speed
Got a swim speed.
with the augmentation.
Yep.
I think at this point everybody's got swim speed. Tia, did you get some swim? What did you go with? An armor upgrade or?
So I don't know. I mean, if we're just knocking them out here at the beginning, I really liked the idea because Hestia is a Sheeran and has the same sort of genetic connections to the swarm. They're very adaptable. I love the augmentation ideas, so I went ahead and got the gill sheath and the fins. I love the idea of a Sheeran, kind of swarm evolving aquatic stuff to be better adapted under there. So Hestia's got the sort of webbed fin feet thing now, and gill sheath that can, like, as long as it has that augmentation, can breathe underwater or in air.
Okay, so you got them both.
Yeah, the gill sheath I probably could have done without, but I just wanted it. I was just like, this is just cool. And like, we may never do more underwater stuff ever in this campaign again, but if we do, I'll be prepared for it and we'll have adapted. And that just
gill
feels
sheath
so
isn't
on
that
brand for.
It's not that expensive either. So
Yeah, it's like 95 credits. It's not that bad. I did some drone stuff too, but I figure we'll get into that on the journey there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so do y'all feel adequately prepared to go?
I guess. As
far as
as
shopping?
far as we know,
Yeah.
I think
Okay, I just want to give you an opportunity before we head off of Absalom Station.
I mean,
I don't
unless we
think
can
there's
go
anything more
in
we can buy.
Yeah.
and like loot a place.
Is that an option?
Yeah, like I'm literally out of credits. I had to borrow 100 from Morgan.
That was the only thing that he brought up in our surgery. Like, hey,
Can I
I'll go with
borrow
you, but,
100 credits,
Borrow
please?
100 credits, please. Remember that $25 credit gift that I bought you before?
I need to
See,
cash
it
in
turns
that
out I'm a little
favor now,
short.
Morgan. I'm sure you'll understand. Yes, absolutely. Okay, great. All right, so you load up the Independence with all of your new water adaptations and or augmentations and or gear. And your cargo bay full of highly specialized drill bits that you're taking to Entha, right?
As a cover for us to get there.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
This is going to be supposed to be a quick drop off, right? So like you have to figure out some way to figure out where Shan is and get there, right? Once you've touched down, just to kind of remind you what the game plan, is here, right? Like, Shan's on this planet. You don't know where she's at. So you got to figure that out. And then you got to get to Shan, wherever she's at. But, EdgeCorp is going to be moving these deliveries in and out. So once you're on planet, you need to kind of figure out how to do a little reconnaissance, let's say. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So, Entha, the water world, is out in the vast.
We got a bit of a journey on our
Got a bit of a journey. You're going to have a few days. How many days?
it's nebulous.
It's nebulous. But a few days. So we've got some time on the Independence, on the journey, to kind of check in with the crew and see how we're feeling going into this. I would be remiss if I didn't open the floor to you all to take this opportunity.
We're doing a STF Classic ship travel episode.
If that's what y'all want to do, we can certainly do that, So
feel like
I'm
it's
just
been a
curious,
while.
do you have anything that you need to get off your chests, I guess, as characters, or what's happening with our crew?
As far as Tia, this journey provides an ample opportunity to reconfigure my drone. Of
course.
Like, as a mechanic, especially a drone mechanic, that's one of the things that she and I really look for, is hyper-specific situations that we can try to mechanic a solution up to, right? So she's going to have to spend, probably in the earlier part of this multi-day journey, 24 uninterrupted hours working on Mantis, right?
Okay.
To be
No
able to,
sleep.
No sleep. Literally, I was looking over it, and like, we've talked about this in the past, and I just want to bring it up so that I don't get shit on in the comments. Technically, you can do that anytime you level up. You can rebuild it, or anytime the drone gets destroyed. And we've talked about in the past, there's nothing stopping you from destroying your own drone to be able to rebuild it from scratch.
You must.
You know? So, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Is Hestia's gonna? Oh, my sweet darling.
That's what I was thinking about. Mantis, my sweet.
Right. All right. And like, completely disassemble and destroy Mantis in her normal combat drone, like, looking relatively similar to an actual praying mantis form, and then spend 24 uninterrupted hours. And what I was looking over and I find funny is any interruption longer than a short conversation adds 12 more hours.
Oh, wow.
Right? So you have to be like hyper focused. So like, there's a 24-hour period where Hestia is no-lifing rebuilding Mantis, and it's like, has a sign up. It's like, don't fucking bother me, but like, don't Hylaxin bother me or whatever. She wouldn't cuss. But like is seriously dedicated to doing that. And in that process, it's going to let me, build over from scratch and get rid of some mods and replace them with other mods, which is what is very exciting to me, because what I did, I took out a few mods that were giving me things like AC, extra health, like I was just trying to make Mantis survivable and make it aquatic. So I gave Mantis hydrojets, which is going to give Mantis a swim speed equal to her half of her land speed.
Okay.
I also took the speed mod, which will add 10 feet of land speed, which will add 5 feet of swim speed because of the hydrojets. So Mantis is going to be rocking a 20-foot swim speed, which is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. And I went back to the classic. I've been wanting a reason to go back to the riding saddle and cowboy up on Mantis, and so now I can do it underwater because I've got the riding saddle. I've got Hestia a swim speed, Mantis a swim speed, so if I get knocked off of Mantis, I'll be fine, but I'm going to be trying to stay on Mantis and using her as a mount.
What does this configuration of Mantis look like? Now, keep in mind, I'm going to require that Mantis's little Mantis head stays on the thing in some way.
It's just like a jet ski with Mantis head.
No,
but it's got to have Mantis's head, right? Like,
so my thought
like the
was
antennas, like
somewhere
handlebars.
between, like an insectile
Love
kind,
that,
the praying mantis is the traditional form for Mantis. My thought was converting her more to like a plesiosaur. Let's say, think Loch Ness Monster, right?
Okay.
So like having I think it'd be dual functionality, like the like having 4 fins like the Loch Ness Monster would, but they can stand upright or can go into water mode, basically. They're like fin leg combos, but would still have the 2 mechanical arms that shoot a long arm, which that's the other thing. I did purchase a shiny new gun for Mantis to finally upgrade, because it took me a while to get into the rhythm of it, but I came to realize what I need to be doing is Hestia should not be shooting guns. Mantis should be shooting guns, and Hestia should be buffing Mantis or buffing allies or getting knowledge or whatever, but like only in very dire circumstances should Hestia have a reason to shoot the guns, because she's not that good at it. Like her to hit isn't bad, her damage isn't very good, right? And Mantis has good damage but bad to hit, so I can spend my action giving bonuses to Mantis so that their big damage helps, or repairing if she gets damaged or whatever.
okay.
So that's the big part of the early to middle part of this journey is no-lifing, recreating this aquatic version of Mantis, this Loch Ness Mantis, and
Love
then
it.
recovering from that, like having to stay up for 24 or 36 hours or whatever to get this build done, and then it's gonna crash hard for like a day. And then I've got a thing I want to do like just before we get there, but I'll let other people kind of talk about their stuff.
I'll just say at the beginning of the trip, Roland, in his normal way, would kind of tell, gather the group before we all kind of go off to do our own thing, and just say, "You all have done very good in these last couple of jobs. I feel like we've really demonstrated how far we've come, and we're making some wise decisions with our purchases, I see. I must emphasize the importance of finding Shan. We must succeed at this at all costs. I'm going to take some time in my quarters to do some reading and some working out. I'll be in there if you need me, but I will be keeping mostly to myself. Good job, and be thinking about ways that we can find Shan quickly, as our window there is limited. Cheerio and all that. And
Morgan doesn't laugh, but Emily does. She reacts.
Yeah, and so like for most of the time on the ship, just like as far as where Roland is, you know, if you're trying to find him or anything, he's either in his quarters or in the whatever constitutes as our gym on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, Gadrick is going to be doing fairly similar, but instead of reading, he is going to be marathon watching all of the Tremors movie and the very short run of the Tremors TV show.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Surprised it wasn't Waterworld.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. There's an actual downtime activity called marathon entertainment.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And it has to be of a single, or it says watching vids or playing games focused on a single specific intellectual property. Waterworld's not long enough to do a full day marathon unless you just
It
rewatch
is
it
by
over and
itself.
There are no sequels.
Yes, it is. That's like a 14-hour movie, dude.
It's not.
But 7 movies and a 13, I think, episode run on TV. That's Gadrick's trip.
Woof.
What does it
Wow.
give you?
So based on the genre, there are different things. If it's comedy, you get a morale bonus to medicine checks somehow. Drama, you get saves against emotion effects. But for action and adventure, which I'd classify Tremors as,
Totally.
Yeah.
the first time you roll an initiative check, you gain a +2 morale bonus to the check and gain temporary HP equal to your key ability score modifier for 2 rounds.
Fuck
Oh, that's
yes.
what's up.
So first combat, a little bit of a buff.
Josh,
Okay.
just real quick.
Don't
the
forget
comedy
that.
part. You said comedy, like for some reason, medicine. Laughter is the best medicine.
Oh, there you
Hey.
go. There you go. That makes sense.
That's why.
All right. So I'm going to try to keep track of our downtime activities here.
While he's doing that,
Good
I
old fashioned pen and paper, by the way.
man of substance here. I posted a picture in our Live and Let Fly chat to give you a Pokemon-based idea of Mantis's new form.
Is it Lapras?
No, it's actually not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Samurott.
Oh, I have not seen that before. That's not one of the original 150. It don't count.
It certainly is not.
Don't count.
But like somewhere between Samurai and Lapras would be right in the ballpark.
Ah, it's got some kind of like shell horn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's not part of it. Just more the leg formation.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
All right. So I got +2 initiative, temporary HP equal to Dex is your key ability score for 2 rounds for Gaddy.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Very good. What else are we doing for these several days? A few days. An indeterminate amount of days.
Nebulous.
A nebulous
days.
amount of days.
I did want to. This is not the downtime activity I want to do, but I was curious. Like, have we learned everything we can about this planet? Like, is
About
there any?
Entha.
Is there any? I mean, once Hestia finishes no-lifing this rebuild, like that would be a priority. Is there anything more we can gain about this planet as far as knowledge from the infosphere or whatever?
I believe that there is, man. I believe that there is.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out just quickly what I can tell you before you get there versus what you have to be there
Yeah.
to learn.
Uncover.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you'll need to be there to learn more about the settlement, but the planet, yeah, we can certainly give you some information on. Infosphere is a computer's check, or it could be a culture, I guess, for information on that. 28. That's pretty good. Okay. So I mean, obviously, you know that Entha is a water world, right? Like the whole thing is covered with water. It has a large coral kind of population, I guess you could say, right? Like there's a lot of coral on the planet. It was originally discovered by an Edge Corp scouting crew who accidentally found it after a drift jump. However, it was many more years before the company decided to start.
Oh,
begin terraforming operations.
Yeah.
Begin terraforming operations.
Were there any indigenous peoples on this planet?
like the Copaxi or whatever they are, coral people.
As far as anyone knows, there's no.
As far as Edge Corp has let us know,
Yeah.
of course, there's definitely no people on that planet.
None, no sentient life.
Well, I mean, like there's like fish and stuff.
There's
right?
fauna, but yeah.
Yeah. But sentience, right? We certainly there's no indication of anything like that on the planet.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like coral, I guess, is technically alive, but I don't know.
No,
that
you know
it
what
has,
we're talking about. We're talking about
Yeah.
sentient
Or
peoples.
sapient, I guess.
We're sapient, right?
I just
exactly.
keep thinking about that stupid Walking Dead joke. Get in the house, Coral. Sorry.
Coral.
Coral. Get in the house.
Yeah, but so many years before the company decided to take it back up, right? They have the primary outpost that you are going to be going to is a floating, prefabricated base of operations named Elysia.
Okay.
Yeah.
They need drills.
They need drills
Wink.
for their terraforming operations.
Oh, I'll bring them a drill.
They're burning through drills.
That sounds fine.
Bring
That sounds
them
fine.
lots of drills, but I'll bring them one ominous drill.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, I mean, that's what you know about Entha so far.
Okay. We'll have to try and collect more information once we get there for sure.
You know that the executive in charge here on Entha is a dragon, a green dragon named
Like full dragon?
like a dragon. Like,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Triaxis's whole business is like dragons, right? Like the whole business sexter? The whole business sector.
sexter, yes.
What you got, John? What you doing?
So I think because of Vincent's fear of water, he has been trying to figure out ways in which to provide like his own survival towards that. So any way he can. So aside from the purchases that were made on Absalom, there's this downtime activity called workout. And so
That's what I'm going to do too.
that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working out. And so like what that says is that so whether through aerobic exercise, pumping iron, sparring, or otherwise putting yourself through the paces, you push your body to improve its performance, and as a result, on a successful, well, I'm doing the multi-day, so that's for
You have to. This one
you have to.
requires multiple. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what that requires is that it says decide whether you're working on your agility or sheer physical power. That'll either reflect on in acrobatics or athletics. And you spend 7 days carefully alternating intense training and mindful rest. And if this activity is interrupted, you can resume it within 10 days, yada yada. But at the end of the
2
7
days.
days,
2 days.
Yeah. You can resume it within 2 days. But at the end of 7 days, attempt a fortitude saving throw with a DC equal to 10 plus half your character level, which would be 3. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to this save if you have access to an exercise-focused recreation suite or similar activity. Okay? Facility, yeah. So
I got lost in the sauce on that one, man.
Basically, at the end of this, we're both going to roll a fortitude save against a DC. If we succeed, we're going to improve our athletics. Basically, we can re-roll a failed check once a day for a week.
Next song.
So it's been a couple days. Morgan's kind of been tinkering around with their needler pistol, trying to make it waterproof, essentially. And has been trying to just give Roland a little bit of space. But once their weapon is pretty watertight, they would make their way to Roland's room. So, like, knock, knock, knock.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Captain. Do you have a moment to talk?
Yeah, sure. And he, like, puts a bookmark in his book and sets it down. What can I do for you, Morgan?
They would come in and... Do you mind if I shut the door? Just...
No, of course not.
And would kind of sit down and just look at Roland for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know Shan means a lot to you. Did you want to talk about anything? You seem very... obviously stressed. I can only imagine it's a bit of a stressful situation. But I just wanted to check in on you and make sure that you were all right, or as all right as you can be. If there's anything that I could do for you. I am here for you, Roland. You don't have to bear this by yourself.
Yes, of course, Morgan. You always have been. There's just some history there with Shan, and I just care very deeply for her, and I'm just nervous about what could have happened to her. I mean, we both know how little regard EdgeCorp has for human life. They'll do whatever it takes to be successful, and I was disappointed to hear that Shan was working for them or with them or whatever, and now she's in danger, and, well, it just brought up a lot of old memories, and he stops there and looks at you pretty squarely in the eye, and after kind of a pregnant pause says, and has brought some confusing feelings to light. I know that I can't hide those from you, Morgan. You sense them all day long. So I won't attempt to, but... well, frankly, I don't know how to feel about a lot of things, but I do know that we must rescue Shan.
They just kind of like shake their head and give you a moment just to kind of sit with yourself and say, Roland, whatever history or even whatever current situation that you and Shan may have, please know that I don't have any issue with that. You're welcome to be friends or more with anyone that you would like. I don't want you to feel like you have to keep things from me out of a sense of hurting my feelings. That will not be the case. I know that you've been struggling with a lot of these thoughts and a lot of this history. And I just wanted to let you know that that's not an issue for me. I know who you are, and I can't imagine why Shan wouldn't be interested in you.
Oh, that was a bit of the problem. Morgan, I want to be clear. I am not worried about you possessing any feelings of jealousy or ownership over whatever it is that we have, and frankly, I don't know what we have, and...
Labels are messy.
Sure, and he kind of, like... You can see he's a little perturbed at that, because, you know, maybe you can sense this as an empath, is like he's not looking for labels. He's not, but he also like some acknowledgement. You know, we've just never discussed it. You know, we've done this kind of flirt back and forth, but we've never discussed it, and nor has he. He hasn't brought it up either because it was kind of just wasn't on the surface, but now everything's on the surface, and so he's feeling in a lot of ways. And he says, your jealousy is not the problem. You do not strike me as one that would be possessive or jealous, and while I appreciate you saying as much, well, perhaps us just remaining friends and co-workers is really the best at the end of all this anyways. If you don't mind, I actually do have some working out that I need to do. I appreciate you coming here and letting me know and offering your kindness. If I have more to talk about, I will certainly share that with you, but I think I really must be off. And he kind of holds the door up, steps up and holds the door open for you.
They would, stand up and kind of nod at you and then pause at the door and turn and just give you a hug. Not ask, but just give you a quick hug and just say, "We'll get it back. Everything will be all right. You'll see."
Yeah, Roland definitely leans into the hug and kind of holds you, for an extra second or two. But then when you pull back from the embrace, his face is as stern as ever. He's like, "We must." You sense and feel all sorts of conflict coming from Roland, in that he is pulling into himself. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like all of the ease of our of our poor is not there right now, and he's like all business.
As they walk down the hall, their shoulders are back, they're poised as always, but as they kind of turn the corner, like they slump a little bit, like they're just trying to hold it together until they're out of earshot, eye view, and they just kind of collapse a little bit, like just kind of like their shoulders collapse, and would head to the mysticism chamber, and I would like to at that point do another downtime activity, because we've got a few different days. Morgan would have a kind of meditation space set up in there, and they would completely disrobe and kneel on a cushion in their meditation space. And they have oils that they would anoint their body with. And as they're doing that, they would lift up a prayer to Arshay. And I imagine if you're kind of like the camera pulls back some, you can see the huge
There's a vase
tattoo.
Tastefully obscuring.
Of course. Any butt cracks or anything, we're tasteful. Very,
absolutely.
Very. It's our brand.
It's a family show.
It's a family show.
This low key.
Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, butt cracks out. We're obscuring the backs of the elbows. That's not what we're allowing here.
But you would see kind of as the camera pulls back, the huge Arshay tattoo on Morgan's back kind of maybe pulse just a little bit as they are connecting with their deity. And this is going to be the Channel Divinity activity.
Okay.
Essentially, you spend time in religious contemplation. There we go. And essentially, you ask for a boon of sorts from your deity. Specifically, I am using the espouse activity. What they would kind of do is ask for a guiding light, some kind of indicator when we need it, something to help us find Shan quickly, because that is the thing that seems to be causing Roland the most concern, is like getting to her as quick as possible. And we don't really know where she is. We know that we're going to have to do some digging. We're going to have to figure out some things. So if Arshay can do anything to help guide us in that, whatever that looks like, and it's fully up to the GM, because Arshay doesn't have set benefits or boons or anything. So it's kind of up to you to decide how you want to do that. I do have to make a mysticism check.
Okay.
Just to kind of make sure everything pops off all right. So the DC is going to be 24. Let's see what we can do. Oh, yeah, baby. That's an 18 on the die. Plus 14 is well over 24.
Well over 24. Yeah, absolutely. So as you're meditating, Morgan, and as you're asking Arshay for these things, you do feel a sense of like reassurance. You know, it's internal. It's just a feeling. It's just a vibe that you pick up, a small little wavelength that permeates into your consciousness. That's calming. That's reassuring. That you feel that Arshay has heard you and knows what to do, even if you don't. I will say it is a little bit of an emotional reprieve after kind of the sting that you've been feeling.
Perfect. Because they're trying really hard to be very like, okay, this is business now, so let's take care of business. But also their feelings are a little hurt because we were a little bit closer than that, and I just want to help you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What a dick. That's Morgan's.
So yeah, I'll say that I do now go to the gym, right?
Oh right, that's a thing we were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and anticipating Vincent there even.
Yep.
And he goes and he starts working out just without saying anything, just kind of nods at Vincent. Vincent, I imagine, is already working out, and he just goes in there and just kind of nods and starts getting after it. But he's kind of like grunting a little louder than he needs to, kind of like doing that thing of, I want to talk, but I don't want to be the one to breach it.
He's lifting 20-pound weights going.
So I feel like this is coming from Roland's perspective, but from like Vincent's perspective. Okay, first off, he's feeling good. Like as far as like he's getting a good workout. He's in the zone, and like he sees fucking Roland come in, and his shoulders are slumped. It's plain as day to see that something is up with the captain. That like he kind of picked up on it on the first point whenever he says, "Well, I'm going to be in my room for the whole trip." So obviously he's like, well, maybe he'll just work it out in himself. But seeing him come in there and seeing him try to, make these like impressions of like, I want to talk, but I don't want to start it off or anything. It's like, seems kind of like he sees it, I mean, like, Vincent is like 200 plus years old. He's seen this shit before, So anyway, he's just like, oh. What's in your crawl, mate? You brush your teeth with a toilet brush?
What? I don't even understand that insult. I don't know. we just can't ever catch a break, can we?
No, I've been saying that since the fucking Yarrow berries, mate. So, yeah. I mean, we're trying to do this the best we can, but,
Well, it's just, I was having one moment of feeling exhilarated and confident in our team and, and what we're capable of. And that was so brief. And now, of course, once again, one of our past catch up with us, and this time it's mine. And it's not even that big a deal, but it's frustrating to come at such a time, I enjoyed my confidence and exuberance and having fun out there and on the ground, and now my head is swimming with all these feelings and confusions, and I'm frustrated.
Hills and valleys, mate. Hills and valleys. The one thing that I gotta say is that being around as long as I have, nothing's ever truly over. Not really. I mean, you think about it, and things come back around. Things all resurface, and well, honestly, what the fuck are you trying to say there, Roland? Because it seems like you're beating around the bush here. I know you're saying that, like, we've had a rough time and all. And, yeah, but everybody's had a fucking rough time of this. And, yeah, you're talking about your past coming up to bite you at an inopportune time. Oh, God, fucking life hits you in the face at your most inopportune moment. But guess fucking what? I did too. Fucking, I don't know where the fuck's engine is. But anyway... I'm trying to have a good time. So what are you trying to say here, Roland?
Well, this brutal honesty is why I came to you, particularly Vincent. I knew that you would tell me how it is, and I've grown to appreciate that about you. And your years, I'm only 27 or somewhere about that age. I can't remember what I decided. So Shan, as you might have gathered, I have some history with Shan.
Right.
We were friends. We were great friends back when on the Jacques. She was there doing research, trying to find a way to save our planet.
Yeah, that's your planet, right? Okay. Yeah.
And you may be aware that it is doomed to be frozen as the sun is dying.
Oh, fuck me, mate. I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Damn.
You can say.
How do you respond to that?
That's rough, buddy.
Fuck.
Yeah, that you could consider that to be one of the greatest valleys of my life, if you want to phrase it that way.
I love the inadvertent dog pun too. It's pretty rough.
Anyways, Shan, she came as part of a research team to try to see if there was a way that the star could be fired back up, or the remaining energy amplified to provide us what we needed. Of course, that was a failure. But while we were there, we got very close.
Mm-hmm.
Similar in a fashion to, you may have noticed, I've been keeping it pretty secret, I'm sure, but my relationship with Morgan.
No. You and Morgie? Really?
Well, you joke, but the fact of the matter is that I actually don't know what we are. And I hadn't thought about it. It was just kind of fun flirtations back and forth. But with Shan and all the memories there, kind of forced it into view. And, well, I rejected Shan. And she didn't take it very well. It wasn't her fault. I just came to realize who I was during that time, and unfortunately the fact of the matter is now I'm feeling that way regarding Morgan. Morgan, as you know, is a very outward person.
Sure.
They worship of a god of sexuality and love and expression. And yet, the only thing that Morgan has said to me is that they are not jealous of Shan. It's so confusing.
So, have you talked to them about it? Have you mentioned your feelings or anything? I mean, this is complicated territory. I think it requires two parties.
Right, but no, I can't talk to them about it. Here's the thing. I'm not good for anyone. My eyes are always set on the next thing. I've ran away from every major responsibility that I've had, including Shan. This is the first responsibility that I haven't run away from, and I don't want to put myself in a position to where I have to. And I don't want to complicate things with Morgan, and as thus the rest of the crew. But I have these fucking feelings, and I just... As I said, timing's terrible, and why can't we just be happy as a crew? Is that too much to ask?
No, I think everybody deserves a shot of happiness. And, I mean, as far as running away, mate, that doesn't make you a piece of shit or undeserving of love. I mean, everybody deserves love, come on. So
those that abandon their family, abandon their friends, abandoning their teachers, all because for what? The spirit of adventure?
This self-flagellation just doesn't do you, mate. It really fucking doesn't. I mean, look, you're young, alright? And the thing is that you're gonna have this gnawing at you until you've learned to forgive yourself. Before you can actually trust others. And sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith. You know what you want, even though you're punishing yourself for it. I say give it a shot. What do you think?
Can you spot me with this lift?
Yeah. Just don't go a little bit lighter on the weights there. You seem to be having a little bit of trouble. I noticed a bit like an extra grunt in there. So, maybe you're just overextending yourself, all right? Maybe you need to work on your form. Let's work on that. So, okay. And, yeah, he's going to spot him.
Yeah, thanks, Vincent.
Yeah, of course, man, of course.
All right, now we can make those rolls, Zach.
All right, make your rolls. DC's 17?
It's 10 plus half of our level.
Oh,
yeah.
So 13.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah.
Fortitude save.
Strength, yeah. So
No, you make a fortitude save.
Fortitude save, okay, yep.
Yep.
All right.
Which will be against DC 13. I hit that with a 15 on the die, plus 5, so a dirty 20.
Okay.
So that means that I will be able to re-roll a failed athletics check once a day for a week.
Okay.
Okay, so I rolled an 18.
Okay. That is also a success.
Nice. Okay. Hell yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I've written all that down. I think that just leaves Tia in terms of a downtime activity. Tia,
I do want to mention that I also will be doing the downtime activity to make my weapon usable underwater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same.
like
I think we all will be
Everybody
doing that.
pick one
Yeah.
weapon, I guess, and you can give it the underwater property.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it now. It's gonna be Mantis's weapon, not Tia's.
Okay.
Because I'm smart, wicked smart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got a couple of things, and I'm gonna try to be quick about them. But Tia, after spending all that time, no sleep, working on the drone, on Mantis, and then getting, a day of rest or whatever, the next day, she, and I'm not going to I don't want to spend the time to kind of RP individually with you, but throughout the day, kind of comes around to each crew member, and wherever you're at, and, very much trying not to intrude, but insists on coming to talk to you. And it's like, I know this may seem silly to you, but it is something that means a good deal to me, and it would make me feel better going into the strange situation that we're going into. And could you just answer these questions? And as she comes to each of you in different, however you respond to them, she gives you a piece of paper, and on it is what you could only describe as a friendship survey. And on it you see questions such as, what's your favorite color? What's your fondest memory? What's your favorite season?
So
what is your zodiac
you're going to have
sign?
to actually develop this form and give it to us in that, because
Yes,
the listeners are going to want to
absolutely.
know our answers to
Sure,
this.
I can handle that later,
Okay.
but let me cook.
Yep.
What's your zodiac sign, or whatever the equivalent in this universe is. If you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? And the list goes on. Like it's too long of a list, right? But she asks
100
all of you.
question
No,
quiz.
it's not 100, but we'll say it's 20 or something. But she fervently and very earnestly asks each of you to fill it out and get it back to her.
As soon as possible.
As soon as you can, yes. I need these back before we arrive on the mission into untold peril. And once you guys, I don't know how long it takes you, get it back to her. Again, just go with me on this, right? That next day, or maybe later that evening, some of you would notice, or actually, Hestia comes over the comms and makes an announcement. And all of this does seem odd. If any of what I'm doing sounds odd, it's supposed to. But she makes an announcement. Yes, fellow crew members, I just wanted to announce very quickly, there is a problem with the galley's sink. It is overflowing, and so I will be repairing the sink. And please don't come in there, because I wouldn't want you to slip and fall. And later that evening, each of you don't see Hestia come to you, but she has Mantis come to each of you in Mantis's new sort of new Pokemon variety, a new aquatic form, wearing a little bow tie and holding a fancy-looking piece of paper. Mantis brings each of you what appears to be an invitation to a fancy dinner in the galley that she had been repairing. On the note, you see that says you are cordially invited to a specially prepared meal catered to your tastes. Individually, please attend in 20 minutes or whatever the time is. And it's like, P.S. I lied about the sink overflowing. I'm so sorry.
Adorable.
And so when you all eventually make your way to the galley, I have taken the cook feast downtime action, and so I am spending 5 credits per person to feed you whatever you answered on your friendship survey as if the answer to your, if you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? She spent the latter part of the day cooking. I mean, it could be a feast up to 15 people, right? By the rules. But cooking each of your favorite meal as well as she can, and has it set up super swanky and nice. It has candles and stuff, and so it's invited all of you to this big fancy dinner. Now, mechanically, what this means is I will roll a culture check, and if I succeed, everyone will get some benefits from this downtime activity. And it can be done if this is on the last day before we get there, it does you can all get the benefits of this as well as whatever your final day's downtime activity is, right? So
Okay. It's going to be the final day.
okay, cool. Okay. 17 plus dirty 30 on the check. The DC, you can attempt a culture, profession, cook, or survival check with a DC equal to 15 plus 1 for each creature fed. So I'm feeding 5 of us, right? And I beat it easily. So if you succeed on the check, anyone partaking regains an additional hit point for every 2 character levels they have after their next full night's rest. And each gains a +1 morale bonus to their next saving throw made against disease or poison. So, if we do run into any poisons or diseases in the, water world, that'll give you guys a bonus. And if we are down there long enough that we need to rest, you'll recover more from resting.
How much more was that? I'm adding it to my character notes.
For your healing? It is 1 hit point for every 2 character levels you have.
Okay.
So 3.
Yeah.
3 hit points.
Cool.
Yep.
I will just say that Roland comes to dinner looking fly as hell. Like, he's got his, mane slicked back, and he's wearing, a black coat. Not like a full-length duster, but those kind of Western fit coats, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's a Western coat, man.
Yeah,
clearly.
Western coat.
Yeah, a Western coat.
Okay. He's got he's cleaned up his scarf really nice, and he's got it all just he's looking put together as hell. And he's like, Tia, this is lovely. What a extenuating gesture. I particularly liked the touch of Mantis being your little invitation butler. That was very cute.
Thank you, Captain. We're nearing our destination, and I know the crew has been at various levels of dealing with their own things, and everybody's been busy trying to prepare things, and I just wanted to do something nice for everyone, and we're going into a dangerous situation, so while we have the time, let's do something good and positive and wholesome.
So awesome. I love a good dinner. Roland definitely seems kind of a little bit lighter. Still in his thoughts, obviously, but not quite so dour. If he even was dour, he was just kind of internal. But he puts on the face to be friendly with his crew, and we're having a social gathering, and he's not just being pouty at the dinner, and he's making jokes and hanging out,
Yeah,
Even if
that's
it's
mostly
kind
what...
of surfacely, but yeah.
Okay, sorry, I have to do it. Roland said what he was wearing. Morgan's gonna say what they're wearing.
No, please, yes.
I was waiting. Waiting.
I just wanted this to be a nice little evening before we go into some probably depressing, messed up shit.
Sure. Morgan.
That would never happen.
Never. What? That doesn't sound like anything we'd get into. Morgan has on these skin tight, faux leather, because they don't like to wear real leather or fur. Kind of pants, and some, we'll say some pretty conservative heeled boots, about 4 inches only for the heel. So it's basically a kitten heel. And they've taken one of their shorter scarves and have fashioned it into a bit of an ascot, as it were. And they have on this metallic silver gold, depending on how they turn in the light, it catches a different color, vest that's just a 2-button vest, and they've got the ascot kind of tucked into the vest. And they see that everybody's here. Everybody seems to be having a really good time. Roland seems a little bit lighter. They would raise their glass and just say, Tia, thank you. This was very, very much needed. And I just know that we're going to do so well out there. And honestly, I'm just so happy to be on this crew with all of you. I know that we'll all watch each other's backs. We'll take care of Shan. And like at that, like they direct a look towards Roland like, it's cool. And then we'll go home and we'll have some money. It'll be lovely. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic because of all of you. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Might I say, you both look lovely.
This whole thing. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Vincent's comment
Smirks at that. Yeah.
for them both looking lovely, Gadrick glances down at his stained white tank top that's got Cheeto dust on it from his trimmers.
That was mustard on your
She's
shirt.
been watching movies constantly. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like
Mountain
Gavin would
Dew
definitely
stains.
just show up.
Gadrick,
Like it's
perhaps
any
a-
other night in the galley,
Yeah,
you know.
perhaps a shower is in order. You've been in that video room for quite a
Yeah,
while.
I'm almost done. It's gotten worse and worse as it's gone, but I'm gonna see this thing through. I tell you what.
I feel like what's his name? Vincent wore his one clean white, you know, as far as his shirt, you know, and just wearing some blue jeans with it, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, he's not trying to impress. But yeah, I figure. I mean, he's definitely going to be the one that like comes in with the attitude of just like, Roland, your hair's little. I mean, your hair's what is it like? Your hair's messed up in this spot, and just like puts his finger in the spot, yeah, in the spot to mess it up, you know, as he's walking by.
Kind of recoils from that. It's like, yeah, look, I was sitting weird. Don't judge me. I've been in the same spot for a long time, Vincent.
It's just like Gadrick is all hunched over. Like,
It's like one spot that looks like a guinea pig's cowlick.
oh,
Yeah.
what is it?
Oh man.
Yeah, and Tia's once again in her pink chef's hat and apron. Last time it was as Vincent's assistant, and this time, you know, has taken it upon herself to prepare her own meal.
No longer sous chef.
Yeah, but you can see the Roland T-shirt is like underneath. I feel like it's not the only shirt she has, right? But like, it's like when you have a favorite band tee or something, it's like, all right, dude, like you wear this like 3 times a week, like it's too much, you know? That's how she is with the T-shirt with just Roland's face on it, you know?
Roland's like, so Gadrick, what do you think of Tia's meal here? As our resident cook, has Tia lived up to the standard, or to buttered toast, or has she
Toast sandwiches, but
toast sandwiches? My bad, yes,
I mean,
that's right.
look, Cap, be real with you. Damn near anything's better than a toast sandwich. I know.
No,
Including this can of beans in my cheeks.
No. I've got to just say it's mechanically good.
There you go.
I was just
I
just making a
succeeded my
comment
check.
on
It's
the toast
good.
sandwiches bit.
Right.
I'm just stirring the Vincent is the cook.
Yeah,
part,
yeah,
is
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
doing.
It's
Right.
dude, it's just flavor. You know?
Flavor. Yeah.
Unless,
We're in double
unless
flavor
the
town
thing
now.
that Gadrick wrote down as his favorite food was a toast sandwich. Then it's the best damn toast sandwich he's ever had.
So I actually decided what Vincent's favorite meal was.
I was curious if you guys were going to take the bait
Oh,
on
yeah,
that. and tell me
yeah.
What would your character's meal of choice have
So
been?
the plate is laid out in front of him, and he immediately recognizes what it is. He says, "Oh, really? So this was what it was all about. I can't believe that you made salmon with cinnamon." Just like my mum used to make.
Compliments of Chef Pat.
I hate it.
cinnamon, huh?
Tia, I
On
tell
the
you
desert
what,
planet of Akaton, you know?
this lasagna is killer. Thank you.
This is one of the best bowls of elk stew that I've ever had.
Elk stew. Wow.
Lasagna, elk stew.
Well, I mean, I lived on a frozen planet,
sense.
you know, like,
Right.
and
Okay.
I am a wolf after all. You know?
It's not so much that it's just like, wow, like the shopping list must have been a pain in the ass
Oh,
for
you
that
just
one.
credit deal,
generated
man.
the food thing from our fancy food maker, right?
Well, my
Or you
thought
generated the ingredients.
initially was that she would have picked up good ingredients. Like it says you have to have access to premium ingredients or buy them. And my thought was like she went and bought a bunch of premium ingredients.
Did you pay for
before
that?
we
Did you
Pay
left.
for that?
Yes, I did. I did. It tells me to pay 5 credits per person. I was really surprised that you asked Morgan for 100 credits. I could have spotted that easily.
They offered. I didn't have to ask. They offered.
Okay, well, I can give you telepathic messages, but I can't.
It's
I
a
think-
lovely meal.
Yeah, I think it would be very simple but kind of weird. It would be I don't know, just a sushi roll, like a very like a Philly roll, like something very simple, but then the most decadent, over the top iced cupcake you've ever seen. Like those two things paired together.
The
That's
designer
Morgan's.
cupcake and the cheap sushi roll.
Yeah, the gas station sushi roll.
Gas station sushi.
Dude, the gas station sushi. Ugh. Not even the
are.
grocery
Get me
store
there.
sushi, dude. The gas station.
You know what? Maybe grocery. Maybe
Do
grocery.
the
store.
That was one of the
store,
writing
The
prompts for
grocery
Everyone's
store
John or
sushi,
whatever
man.
that game is called. That was one of the prompts I came up with.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
like he just wakes up on the curb eating gas station sushi.
It's rough. We've all been there.
What do Sheeran eat?
Anything.
Like I don't really know. I mean, other than vomit.
Succulent paste.
My succulent paste is actually more along what I was thinking because I was racking my brain like, what would that be? But I believe at some point in our 69 episodes, I mentioned that Hestia maybe isn't a vegetarian, but tends to not eat meat very often. So probably some kind of like really nice salad with, I don't know, with like fancier than normal salad ingredients. Succulent paste, tossed in succulent paste. Couple whale polyps thrown on there.
Going all out with
Synthetic
this one.
polyps.
Did you get that from the vending machine?
Yeah. I paid 5 credits for this.
It is a condiment.
That's the funny thing to me is that it's only costs 5 credits per person to cook a like super fancy meal. It's like you must be getting the hookup somewhere.
Yeah, for real, for real. These are
But yeah.
fresh whale pops.
But
There's such a thing as
thanks
fresh
for indulging me.
whale polyps. I just don't know how
You
fresh.
get them right off the whale.
Right off the whale.
right off. You pick them
It
right
is
off
a
the
good
whale.
one,
Right
you know?
off.
Makes you
How many whales are running
Don't
around
worry
Absalom
about it.
Station?
space
That's
whales,
all I-
man. They come to your they come to
Space
you.
whales
bro.
are a thing in this game.
Space to ship, you know?
It's just the logistics of it all,
Space to
man.
table.
Space to table. Space to ship, dude. Come on.
Stop this.
I will withhold my final judgment on that. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
That's what you're
they
going
were
to dicker
fresh.
about.
But yeah,
It was a nice gesture.
they can be well preserved.
Time
Okay,
is
they can be
nebulous,
well
but whale
preserved.
polyps. No, that's hard and fast.
When it matters.
That's the
When it
hill.
matters.
That's the
You know?
hill.
Yeah.
I secretly absconded with the ship, went and wrangled a space whale, and took these polyps off of it myself.
Impressive. It's an impressive feat. Okay. You all enjoy a delicious meal of your favorite selections, as noted in your friendship survey that Tia had you all complete. And you all go to sleep, get a good night's rest. If you're not fully rested in whatever capacity, please do so now. And the next day, T-0, arrival at the planet Entha. You pop out of the drift. You cruise over. I mean, obviously, it's a big blue sphere, right? However, as you approach this planet, there is a small space station. Near the space station is a ship, an EdgeCorp Negotiator. You would all be familiar with the EdgeCorp Negotiator. I will show you some art. I'll post it in our Discord chat. But it's kind of a funky looking ship, isn't it?
Yes.
Looks like some kind of space age protractor.
It looks like a space gun.
It does look like a gun.
Yeah, it's got an asymmetrical design to
weird.
it. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like a staple gun.
Hey,
It
the
looks
staple
like
gun.
the number
Or
6.
like
Yeah, the
A
number
close
6.
iron.
Yeah.
Millennium
Real
Falcon.
Weird.
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon,
yeah.
but staple gun number 6 with a fin in the center of it.
Nailed
Yeah,
it.
that'll
Nailed
do it.
nailed it.
Millennium Falcon, but it's a staple gun, but it's number 6.
And it has a fin right
You
down
guys-
the back.
With one fin,
We
like
want
a
you guys
shark. Yeah.
listening to everybody draw what you think was just explained. We'll see how close it gets.
Yeah. But you're all familiar with this EdgeCorp Negotiator, with this ship, and you know that this thing is bristling with firepower. Okay? And you see that this ship is monitoring this queue that has formed of starships waiting to land, like waiting for clearance, right? As you get close and you fall into the queue, there's an AI traffic control program which is regularly broadcasting the queuing information, letting people know so-and-so, you're cleared, the name of your ship is cleared or whatever. Please follow the Negotiator class ship to the surface and such and on, so on and so forth, right? Eventually, the ship at the front of the line, right, receives that clearance for landing. Negotiator comes up and escorts it to the surface. Both ships shrink into tiny little dots as they approach this vast water world's surface. While the Independence is waiting in the queue, an open emergency broadcast from the surface reaches your ship. You hear, "Attention! An RC HPR class ship in unauthorized possession of company property has left Entha without clearance from the Yevgenia Jameson Corporation. Parties able to detain these criminals will be well compensated for their assistance." Once that message ends, the Independence scanners pick up a ship moving rapidly towards the queue. Now, it's not hard to tell. This is an Eureka RC HPR. The transponder code has it named the Cernox Tooth. Anybody who wants can roll either a culture or piloting check.
Yeah, I'll do a piloting.
Culture.
That's going to be a 29.
Okay. 29's pretty good.
24.
24 is also pretty good. Both of you who beat the DC, which was 17, okay? You would recognize that these RCHPRs are quintessential working class vessels. They're not very likely to be used by any kind of criminal enterprise, right? They don't even have drift travel capability.
We're in the vast, right? And they
So-
don't have. Okie dokie.
Yeah, they don't have drift
So it's
travel
more like a-
capability
like a
on
shuttle,
this
then.
ship. Yeah, right. But you would also know that this company Negotiator in Pursuit, which is, it moves at the same speed as this, RCHPR, probably can't catch. The Negotiator can't really catch Cernax Tooth without some kind of help. Hence the broadcast that went out, right? So nobody else seems to be doing anything. But as the Cernoc's tooth gets closer and closer to the Independence, the ship hails all nearby ships, and you see a Formian woman on the intercom, and desperately she says to you, "This is Captain Chauvin of the Cernoc's Tooth. The company isn't telling you everything. My crew and I are independent contractors. Our ship was ferried to Entha weeks ago for a mining operation, but the company neglected to tell us that Entha's a water world. The Tooth's not rated for underwater operations, so I figured no harm, we'll be on our way. But the company called us in breach of contract and tried to seize my ship. Well, they can go to hell. Can anyone help me out?" And we'll see.
Shit.
Damn.
We don't need to bring Edge Corp attention, but we should definitely help.
Should have read the contract.
Don't like it.
I know what Hestia would do.